Greetings dear Azernews viewers. Today we have a special guest on the World Development Report, the annual report of World Bank. And beside me is the Roberto Fattal Jaef, who is the author of the Middle Income Trap book, the report that has been published today on the World Development Report. Just generally, thank you for the interview. I would like to ask a question regarding this today's event. The World Bank's 3I strategy, which has been discussed today's presentation, seems the 3I is investment, infusion, innovation, seems highly relevant to Azerbaijan. And how can this strategy be adapted to Azerbaijan's unique economic context? And just prior to that, can you please elaborate about the report, the book that you have published?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for the interest in the report and for the opportunity to speak to the public about it. So the World Bank, this report, the focus has been on the difficulties that middle-income countries confront in achieving higher levels of income. And we notice and document some facts behind it that going forward, the escaping of the middle-income trap is going to entail two transitions, not just one. And the first transition is most likely a middle-income country has already accumulated some capital and expanded some basic education through investment, and investment being the driver of economic growth. But moving forward, the driver's seat has to be given to productivity growth. And initially, we think that those productivity improvements are more likely to come through the country's infusion of technologies and managerial practices and products that are currently produced and developed elsewhere in the world, but not currently in the middle-income countries. So that's the first step towards expanding the country's knowledge frontier. And then later on, once the country is exhausting the returns from this intermediate step, it's when it's more profitable to start thinking about basic innovation contributions and expanding the global knowledge frontier through R&D and patenting and so on and so forth. Azerbaijan, we believe it's in the process of, it's already an upper middle income country, and it has leveraged very efficiently its natural resource endowments. But in order to expand wealth to other sectors of the economy and the non-energy sector, it should really embark in this avenue of infusion. So opening up the economy to international capital, letting domestic entrepreneurs to enter certain industries, some industries dominated by the government and state-owned enterprises. Sometimes that could be a good thing to, generate traction to gain access to some international markets, but in many occasions that ends up being a barrier to entry itself that deters business dynamism. So in the context of Azerbaijan, I think that's the real challenge, how to catalyze knowledge in its population to become successful entrepreneurs, successful engineers that bring new ideas and to the marketplace and let them, and get the institutions to let them scale and leverage global markets.
Thank you so much for the interview, Mr. Fattal.